It is Money Monday, and it seems that everywhere that we turn now, whether it's buying a bottle of water at a deli or getting a morning coffee, we are presented with a pre-entered tip screen with payment options for an additional 10, 15, or 20%.
In fact, according to a recent Bankrate survey, 2 in 3 Americans have reached their tipping point and now have a negative view when it comes to leaving a little extra. Here to help us practice proper tipping etiquette, please welcome the host of the No Romance Without Finance podcast, financial expert Pattie Ehsaei.
Pattie, it is good to see you.
Hi, thank you for having me.
So to start this off, we're going to play a little game. We've got some cards here. We're going to put what we would tip. So this is ride share for me, coffee, and haircut. I would do 20% tip on those.
That's amazing.
All right, DeMarco, you're up.
I would do, you know what? I agree.
So you're just going to copy her, DeMarco.
No, but I actually do 25%.
You do?
Yes,
Wow.
You know, let me take that back.
Okay.
Coffee 15%.
Okay, all right. So you guys are close. So let's start. Ride share, 15%. And here's why. Because they typically do get minimum wage, but you want to tip them something extra because it's a pain. Going to park, getting the food, bringing it to you, they're offering you a service, so tip them 15%. Next, coffee. You don't have to tip at all for coffee.
Coffee?
No, because they make minimum wage and they're not providing an extra service to you. So yeah, they turn around the iPad and they're like, hey, are you going to leave me a tip? It's kind of like a shakedown. You don't have to. You can just say no tip and turn it back around unless you get a great service.
I always feel so bad because they're looking.
Right, they're looking at you. It's a shakedown, right?
I know, but I want my latte really fluffy.
Good point. And salons, you always want to tip 20% at salons because they don't make minimum wage, so they really require your tips in order to make ends meet.
And they make you look good.
Yes, absolutely. It's really important, right?
Yes, it is.
Yeah.
So what about things like your babysitter and picking up takeout or a trip to the spa?
Okay, so here we go. 20%, you always want to tip 20% at restaurants. And again, they don't make minimum wage, so they rely on the 20% tip. And spas and salons, same thing. 20% because they don't make minimum wage, and some of them are commissioned workers, so that 20% tip is really important. Now we're going to get to 15%. So 15%, you have food delivery. Okay, so food delivery people get 15%, and also ride share people like apps like Uber and Lyft, 15% for them, and movers definitely get 15%. And some people are like, well, I already pay my movers a lot.
I feel badly because I don't tip the movers.
You have to tip the movers. You know why? Because they're doing such hard work and they're doing work that you don't want to do. Could you imagine moving day in and day out? It's just way too much work. Yeah. So tip your movers at least 15%. So now, let's go with 10%. Takeout gets 10%. Why? A lot of people are like, well, why do I have to tip for takeout? That is because, again, those people aren't making minimum wage, and although they're not waiting on you on the table, but guess what? They're still taking your order, giving it to the kitchen, packaging it up, give you a service, you have to tip them. Another 10%, your babysitters. And here's why you tip babysitters, because they're taking care of your kids.
Your bad kids. Yes.
And you know how bad your kids are, right? So they deserve at least an extra few dollars here and there.
Like, I know how bad
Angel, what are you talking about? I'm kidding.
She's an angel.
Right,
she's almost 2. Everyone knows what that's like.
It's hard to take care of kids. That's why I don't have any. And next, also hotel workers. A lot of times they get overlooked, but they're, carrying your luggage, cleaning up after you in your room, so they deserve a tip. And
at what point do you say you don't deserve a tip? What about bad service? Or should you always give something?
Here are the times that you don't need to give a tip. One is if you do get bad service, but you want to make sure that the bad service is the result of the server. So if your food is cold or came out late, that's not their fault, right? Yeah, so make sure you tip in those circumstances. Trade workers like plumbers, electricians, they make a lot of money, okay? They don't need your tip. Counter service, like we were saying with the coffee, you don't need to tip them. And also open bars. If you go to a wedding or a party, that has already been taken care of by the host. The whole point of an open bar is so you don't have to bring out cash, right?
But they always have a bucket there.
A bucket full of money. You feel badly if you drop
and you
a 5
don't
or
have to
something.
tip them because they're getting tipped at least 20 to 25% by the host.
But if you keep going back, you should tip the bartender. Right?
Yes, yes.
All right, thank you very
Also
much.
inflation. Anyways.
She wants to keep going. Thank you, Patty. It's a pleasure.
Of course. Thank you for having me.
Of course. And be sure to check out the new Romance Without Finance podcast wherever podcasts are listened to. Again, Patty, thank you.
Thank you.
Well, hey there, GMA fans. Robin Roberts here. Thanks for checking out our YouTube channel. Lots of great stuff here. So go on, click the subscribe button right over here to get more of awesome videos and content from GMA every day, anytime. We thank you for watching, and we'll see you in the morning on GMA.